The president saying that world leaders are paying close attention to this campaign, and he says they have good reason to be rattled by Trump's message.
I think it's fair to say that they are surprised by the Republican nominee. They are not sure how seriously to take some of his pronouncements, but they're rattled by it.
Well, senior national correspondent John Roberts live in Bismarck, North Dakota, getting ready for a Trump event there. And John, good morning to you. What about the biting remarks on the sidelines of that G7 summit from Japan?
Well, you know, Bill, there is a sort of, it's an unwritten policy, but it's one that has been pretty much observed over the decades, that politics ends at the water's edge. Certainly Donald Trump has held back this morning from criticizing President Obama in any way after what the president said. But at a press conference at the G7 summit, the president unloaded on Donald Trump, as you saw there, saying that world leaders would be rattled or are rattled by the idea of him becoming the president, that they're not sure about his foreign policy. Here's what the president went on to say about Trump.
A lot of the proposals that he's made display either ignorance of world affairs or a cavalier attitude or an interest in getting tweets and headlines instead of actually thinking through what it is that is required to keep America safe and secure and prosperous, and what's required to keep the world on an even keel.
Yeah, so that a little bit of a departure from the norm, Bill. Typically when you're overseas like that, you don't talk about politics, and people back home don't criticize you when you're overseas when you're the president either. But President Obama putting that aside for now. We're waiting to see if Donald Trump responds. Again, so far he hasn't. He's going to be here in Bismarck today to speak to the Williston Basis Petroleum Conference. Of course, a lot of the shale oil and the new American energy boom comes out of North Dakota here, with so many people exploring the Bakken Shale. It's been a little bit depressed lately, though, because oil prices have been down so far. But we're expecting that Donald Trump is going to unveil many nuggets in his energy policy today. He's been a big proponent of fracking. He's gone friendly territory here. There's no question about that. Also talking about revitalizing the coal industry. In terms of what he says today, a lot of it's going to be contrast with Hillary Clinton. One of his senior policy advisors, Steve Miller, telling Fox News, quote, Mr. Trump will draw a contrast between Hillary Clinton's plan to eliminate millions of jobs, including countless union jobs, and Mr. Trump's plan to add millions of new jobs for America's workers. He'll be speaking about 2 o'clock this afternoon. We also understand, Bill, he's going to speak to the press before that, so we hope to be able to delve a little more into what Donald Trump has been saying these last few days.
In the meantime, another shakeup in the Trump campaign of significance, too. What's happening there, John?
A fellow named Rick Wiley, who you remember was Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker's campaign manager. He was hired just 6 weeks ago as Trump's national political director, but he's gone now. The Trump campaign saying it was only a temporary position. But I'll tell you, national political director is not a temporary position. So I checked in with some folks in the Trump campaign without naming sources. I'm told that he was treating people in the field poorly. He wasn't following up, but he really got into a row with Trump's field director in Florida, a woman named Kathleen Giorno, and with folks in Nevada as well. These are Trump loyalists. Apparently, Wiley, according to sources, was trying to go around them. These folks had conversations with Donald Trump, said, hey, we don't understand what's going on here. Trump believed them, apparently. And now Rick Wiley is gone. Bill?
John Roberts, thanks. In North Dakota, we'll wait for that event a bit later today. Thank you, John.